Train Sim World 5 Roadmap March 2025. TLDR too long, didn't read summary. 1. The Springtime Sprint Takeover. Get ready for a spring packed full of action, new add-ons, announcements, previews, sales, and much more. London Overground Mile Line, releasing tomorrow, March 4th. Cardiff City Network, coming mid-March. Spurlion's Wool, Grown Engine, arriving in late March. Train Sim World VR, New York, pre-order now for 10% off, releasing March 27th. Thomas and Friends trademark visit the West Somerset Railway, coming spring 2025. West Somerset Railway, a new free update coming spring 2025. 2. Content up ahead. Announcing Frankfurt S-Bahn, representing the S1, S8, and S9 lines of the S-Bahn main network asterisk. 3. Third-party partners. The return of the DBBR420, coming from the TSG team asterisk. ECML Diesel Realtors, further updates from Athena Simulations. Santa Fe gameplay pack for Kajon Pass from High Iron Simulations. The ARC Class 86/2 and MK2F coaches from TridentZ March Dev Blog Update. Cargo Line Volume 3, Intermodal from Skyhook Games. 4. Patches and updates. Train Sim World 5 previous patches and upcoming updates. Mittenwaldbahn post-release improvements. 5. Community Corner. Train Sim World 5 Boxed Edition, releasing in the USA on 13th March. PC Editor Tutorial Series, learn to make a basic scenario with Rob Powell. March Mastery and Newcom Mastery posters coming soon. Train Sim World, Route and Loco add-on manuals. Asterisk Frankfurt S-Bahn and DBBR 420 will be Gen 9 Xbox Series, SX, and PS5 and PC only releases. The Springtime Sprint Takeover. Well, what's this? Our March roadmap has been overtaken in the fast lane. We're excited to welcome you all to an action-packed new roadmap for Train Sim World 5, where alongside our usual insights for our progress on new content, updates, screenshots, and future announcements, we will be celebrating the season of spring with our Springtime Sprint, an exciting lineup with many events all racing towards you. 1. London Overground Mile Line, a London spectacle heading your way on March 4th. 2. Cardiff City Network, TSW's first time in Wales speeds into mid-March. 3. Spurlion's Wool, Grown Engine, our Dutch adventure coming to you in late March. 4. Train Sim World VR, New York arriving March 27th. 10% pre-order discounts are live now. 5. Thomas and Friends trademark visit the West Somerset Railway in spring 2025. 6. East Coast Mainline Diesel Realtor Pack coming the Athena Simulations team. 7. New preview live streams coming each week, starting next week. 8. Upcoming sales opportunities to get your wishlisted TSW/TSC add-ons at a discount. 9. Train Sim World 5 Boxed Edition launching across the USA on March 13th. 10. All new upcoming Train Simulator Classic partner add-ons. Of course, we'll pit stop to our usual roadmap segments to focus on TSW patches, information from our third-party partners, and news from across the community, as well as ways you can get involved with new mastery rewards and the TSW PC editor. Start your engines, let's head to the front of the lineup. Pole position, London Overground Mile Line, releasing March 4th. If you've been waiting for more Overground action, then you've only got one more day to go, as the Mile Line is releasing tomorrow. You'll be able to experience a dense and busy 12 miles of the Mile Line, previously the North London Line, which features 18 stations as you move between Stratford and Willesden Junction in the London Overground Class 378 Capital Star. Get ready to be on your mark with timing, and as a product licensed by TfL, all of the stations across the line will be adorned with the relevant TfL branding. Fancy sightseeing around London. Get ready to spot iconic scenery and a glance at the London skyline around Gospel Oak to Kentish Town West. You'll also be crossing over other main lines from other Train Sim World routes, with the HS1 tunnel entrance visible from Southeastern High Speed. Don't forget about the new route hopping feature, available to quickly access any other London routes in your collection. These include 1. Stratford Intel from Southeastern High Speed. 2. Gospel Oak London Overground Suffragette Line. 3. Willesden Junction WCML South or Bakerloo Line. We'll be releasing an article alongside the launch tomorrow to detail all of the additional service layers and gameplay you can make the most of. As a final note, we're not anticipating any reductions of services or gameplay between Gen 8 and Gen 9 console platforms, and we will be following all of your community feedback on our Mild May Feedback Forums thread. Sprinter traffic coming with Cardiff City Network mid-March. A new country coming to TSW will be a Wales of the time. Don't worry, there will be more weekend leak in the preview stream this month, but we have a rare bit of new information and screenshots in this roadmap as we're getting closer to the release of Cardiff City Network, Raider, and Corton to Penarth and Be Caredid, where you'll be hopping aboard transport for Wales services into the heart of Cardiff. With the BR Class 153, you'll be able to experience two variants, the BR Class 153/3 and the BR Class 153/9 DMU. These subclasses offer a different passenger interior, with the 153/3 being a fully PRN compliant railcar featuring an accessible toilet. Meanwhile, the 153/9 is a light PRN compliant unit. It does not feature the same toilet. Naturally, this means the 153/3 also has an extra blanked out window visible on the exterior. These will be joined by the Class 150/2 DMU in the Transport for Wales livery, featuring new headlights, destination boards, and other modern features. This urban commuter route will test you as it packs over 20 stations across 20 miles of track from Raider/Radder, Corton, and Leffel Uchel Y Mined Bychen/Heath High Level to Coggan, Penarth, and Be Caredid/Cardiff Bay with Welsh and English bilingual signage and posters across the route. We won't drag in with the details. You'll be hearing much more from us later this week about the upcoming Welsh adventure, so hang tight and get ready for a city sprint coming mid-March. Get ready for Spurlane's Wool Chrome engine coming in late March. Our journey to the Netherlands is coming at the end of the month, and we're getting ready to embark on an all-new type of European adventure as we explore Train Sim World's first Dutch route. Catch up to 107 km of track from Zwolle to Groningen, stopping at 8 stations along the way, featuring authentic Netherlands Spurwagen signage and PIS displays. You'll have the choice between the S&G Sprinter 3-car EMU and the incredible Eitenkoploper 3-car EMU, with its flight deck-like cab, as you learn new signals, signages, and systems across the route. To help ease you in, we've also made updates to the Frankfurt Fulda DB Vectron to support Dutch signaling, screen updates, both English/Dutch speaking sounds, as well as the ADB safety system, which should hopefully give owners of the add-on a family loco to ride as you discover the Netherlands. We look to sharing more later in the coming weeks as we work towards the release at the end of the month. Train Sim World VR, New York, releasing March 27th. Pre-order now for 10% off. Our first VR title, Train Sim World VR, New York, is now available to pre-order. Developed by our partners at Just Add Water for the MetaQuest 2 and 3 systems, get ready for a new way to experience TSW as we bring the MTA Harlem line to your home, exploring between Grand Central Terminal and North White Plains. You'll be able to jump aboard the MTA M3A and M7A trains, accelerating above the streets of Park Avenue and through the Woodlawn suburbs with 24 miles of track ready to traverse. We wanted to also take some time to acknowledge some key community-raised questions in this roadmap that you may have about Train Sim World VR ahead of its release. Why did we choose to develop this on the MetaQuest systems? Meta is by far the biggest market leader in the VR space, and their teams have been very supportive of our first journey into VR with the Train Sim World franchise. Did we consider including VR as part of the existing Train Sim World game? VR is a very different challenge and would require reworking the underlying infrastructure of the game, with a higher level of focus on usability and the virtual experience. Starting from a new standalone game, whilst working with the Just Add Water development team and their past experience in VR titles, made much more sense. Has the development of TSW VR taken time away from the existing Train Sim world? Whilst our teams at Dovetail work to promote and publish the title, The development of Train Sim World VR is handled entirely by the Just Add Water team and has had no impact to the development timelines of TSW. Back in December for our Season of Reveals event, we shared an exclusive gameplay showcase for TSW VR, New York, and if you want to see more, head to our updated TSW VR Meta Store page where you can pre-order ahead of the release on March 27th. You can also make the most of MetaQuest exclusive features, including your very own New York apartment where you can review all your game breakdowns and training manuals filled with collectibles, a photo album full of pictures you can take along your journey, and boasting a city view of the Harlem line from your window. Thomas and Friends trademark Visit the West Somerset Railway, releasing this spring. We're very excited as we continue to work closely with Maddle and help prepare Thomas and his friends for their visit to the West Somerset Railway and Train Sim World this spring. In case you missed it, watch the first trailer we've released for the Thomas and Friends trademark Visit the West Somerset Railway add-on for IGN Fan Fest below. And to get you ready for the release, here's the top things you need to know. 1. Maddle's Thomas and Friends is coming to Train Sim World Spring 2025. The add-on will require TSW5 and the West Somerset Railway Route add-on. 2. Catch up with your favorite characters. The add-on will feature Thomas the Tank Engine, Annie, Clarabelle, Diesel, and the Troublesome Trucks. 3. Get ready for a multi-part story with gameplay featuring a fun narrative for you to follow along across a range of scenarios. 4. An additional timetable will feature the Thomas and Friends characters, and they can also be driven on any route in Train Sim World using the free roam feature. 5. Tutorials for Thomas and Diesel will exist in the training center for anyone to be able to pick up and play. Catch up on our previous roadmaps and videos for the full story on the Thomas and Friends trademark Visit the West Somerset Railway add-on. 1. January Train Sim World Roadmap. 2. February Train Sim World Roadmap. 3. Dovetail Fireside Chat with special guest Ian McHugh. Keep updated with new articles and social media posts as we approach the release of Thomas and Friends Visit the West Somerset Railway and Train Sim World 5. West Somerset Railway, a new free update coming in March. The West Somerset Railway route itself is also receiving a range of new updates to elevate the foliage and the landscape across the route, including bringing a range of improvements such as conductor mode for the MK1 coaches and new suspension physics to all WSR rolling stock. 1. Improved foliage and landscape materials to TSW5 standards. 2. Improved route and signal lighting. 3. Improved tracks to include TSW5 long-distance shadows. 4. Added suspension to all WSR stock including the Class 33 and 52. 5. Added conductor mode to the WSR MK1. 6. Replaced all benches with interactive ones for passengers. 7. Opened up footbridges for passengers and the player. 8. And many more. We'll share a full list of changes when we release the update, but for now enjoy a selection of new screenshots to showcase the changes you can expect to experience coming for free to owners of the add-on later in March. Content up ahead. 3 lines to Frankfurt, announcing Frankfurt S-Bahn. Yep, you're reading this right. We're excited to announce that Frankfurt S-Bahn will be coming soon to Train Sim World 5. For Frankfurt S-Bahn, we are representing the S1, S8, and S9 lines of the S-Bahn ring main network, covering over 80 km and a total of 25 stations between Frankfurt and main HBF, including the underground type platforms to Wiesbaden and HBF. S1 takes a more direct westerly route out of Frankfurt, calling at suburban locations in the outskirts of the city and running north of the main river, the longest tributary of the Rhine, all the way to Wiesbaden. S8 and S9 share an alternative path which initially head south to serve Frankfurt Airport's regional station, before stopping at all stations on the Mainbahn, south of the Main. The route is set prior to the opening of Frankfurt Gateway Gardens, offering the chance to traverse over the original airport approach which no longer exists. The route scenery will show the new flyover under construction. As can be seen here, note, full oil placement is yet to take place. I wonder what we need a backdated route for. At Biskopschein, the lines part ways and the S9 takes an S-Bahn viaduct over the Main to join the S1's path into Wiesbaden, leaving the S8 to continue via Mainz HBF, the start of the link Rheinstreck, for itself making a sweeping turn to Wiesbaden, crossing the Rhine twice in the process. For further operational interest, other lines traffic is of course present, such as the S7 to Frankfurt Stadion, which uniquely terminates on the surface at Frankfurt HBF, and S2 as far as Frankfurt Farburg. Not forgetting, of course, how busy the underground station is with the further addition of S3, S4, S5, and S6 AI-only traffic. Lastly, lines such as the S8 and S9 are some which run a full 24/7 timetable, offering full-length runs at all hours of the day and night. New to Frankfurt S-Bahn will be the hard-working DBBR 430 EMU, which operates the bulk of traffic on the S1, S8, and S9 lines. This four-car, high-capacity EMU has been in full operation on the S-Bahn Main since their introduction a little over a decade ago. The design is reminiscent of the DBBR 422, although with more modern fittings and tweaks befitting of a busy network such as Frankfurt. The 430s replaced the much lamented DBBR 420 wink and expanded the size of the fleet to offer a total of 9 trains an hour in each direction, spread across all 3 lines, with up to 12 car formations. We aren't quite ready to show this off just yet, but rest assured it's well underway, and anyway, there might be another train to show off in a bit. Supplementing the BR 430 is of course the DB-BR 423, a staple EMU for S-Bahn networks across Germany. The version included with Frankfurt S-Bahn will feature a new interior to represent the S-Bahn Main variant, as well as some physics upgrades. The BR 423 fleet is certainly no stranger to the Wiesbaden lines, although spends a majority of its time serving other destinations, making it a key part of the scene around Frankfurt HBF. Providing a regional touch is the DB-BR 143 Indasto combination, which runs RB services out of Wiesbaden. AI-only traffic such as ICE and freight will suitably layer in across the route. TSG Triumph the DB-BR 420 returns. If you know, you know. All rise for the Olympiatributen as the DB-BR 420 from TSG returns to the roadmap and is, once again, coming soon. We reached out to make a TSG for an update on the former dormant project, and the good news is the focus of the pack has shifted to support gameplay on the upcoming Frankfurt S-Bahn route, but the originally planned Munich S-Bahn version of the model will still be included. The Munich version is a modernized 8 Series 420 with swinging doors, digital display speedometer, LZB, PZB, and such in the cab and LED destination board. The Frankfurt version is a 7th series with sliding doors, analog cab gauges for speedo and PZB/CF and no LZB here and roller blind destination board. The interiors are a bit different too in colors and there are differences in the decals of course. First image, Munich interior. Second image, Frankfurt interior. Those who have been looking forward to the 420 since the TSW 2 days can rejoice, as it shall be hot on the heels of the Frankfurt S-Bahn route. Compared to the modern 430, the 420 is a 3-car EMU without any walkthrough gameways and all around represents a much more classic style of driving and riding along the S-Bahn Main, but with it being from the early 1970s. The DB-BR 420 will come with its own interpretation of the Frankfurt S-Bahn timetable, swapping out 430 traffic for its classic predecessor. The Munich S-Bahn BR 420 can be used on Hauptstrecke München, Augsburg, and Free Roam and Scenario Planner. Keep an eye out for future news regarding Frankfurt S-Bahn and the DB-BR 420, each which promise to provide the ultimate S-Bahn experience, coming soon to Train Sim World 5. Note that Frankfurt S-Bahn and DB-BR 420 will both be Gen 9 Xbox Series SX and PS5 and PC only. A new German pack coming soon from TSG. Finally, we wanted to highlight another addition to the roadmap asset this month. which shares news of an unannounced new German loco pack developed by the TSG teams. We'll be sure to give you more details in the coming weeks, so stay tuned. Third-party partners. The ARC Class 86/2 and MK2F coaches from Just Trains. We wanted to check back in with our good friends at the Just Trains development team to see more progress on the upcoming Class 86/2 and MK2F coaches add-on. Just Trains, welcome to the March in-depth update for the Class 86/2 and MK2F coaches. In our previous in-depth entry, we showed the exterior of the MK2F coaches, but now we have the key to the doors and are venturing inside and traveling first class. These latest images show the MK2F FO, the first class variant, the MK2F ESO, the second class variant passenger area, and the MK2F ESO guard area. You will see that the first class coach seats, shown in brown, are slightly wider and comfier, and that they include a pillow to rest your head on V/S, the less luxurious blue versions that are used in the second class coaches. As detailed in our previous in-depth entry, the BSO has a split personality. One end of the coach houses the passenger seating area, whilst the guards area has the other. The split is pretty much 50/50 of the coach length. The vestibule area is the same design on both the first and second class coaches and was separated from the seating location by a door. The real-world MK2FS were fitted with an automatic door operating system which was actioned by a pressure plate on the floor. However, these proved to be somewhat unreliable, and so there was also a conventional handle to use in case of the auto system not working. In our version, you will need to operate the handle to enter and exit the vestibule area due to the engineers reporting the lack of spare parts to make the auto system functional. The vestibule areas also house a toilet, which in the case of ours is already occupied and so cannot be entered. Also, we reveal an additional livery for the Class 86/2. We have previously shown you two of the included liveries, but this one makes it three with the addition of the red buffer beams and the black headcode box. The liveries we showed previously to this had either a yellow headcode box or a split black/yellow one. These slight livery changes happened during the mid-1980. The livery featured here, which has the additional center headlight and the TDM time division multiplex cables fitted on the front, is a unique variant for the class that is featured in our pack and was named City of Coventry. In real life, and not in the case of the simulation, the TDM cables were originally fitted for lighting control of the coaches. Later, BR adapted them for driver/guard communication. The City of Coventry locomotive also has the Bracknell-Willis high-speed pantograph, which is different in design to the normal Stone-Faveley amber type as shown in the other included Class 86 variants. The high-speed panto allowed a capable loco, which, to be clear, this variant of the 86 is not, to run up to 125 mph, whereas the amber type was only allowed to run up to 100 mph. Thank you, Just Trains. We look forward to keep hearing more updates for this add-on in the future. Be sure to check out their latest development article to see more on the above progress. Santa Fe gameplay pack for Kajan Pass from High Iron Simulations. The High Iron Simulations team are continuing to work well towards completion of their first TSW add-on, and this month they've talked about the final stages of development for the Santa Fe gameplay pack. High Iron Simulation. We have been refining details of the two locomotives, the Santa Fe NBSD40-2 and SFG-8-40CW, and putting the finishing touches on the accompanying rolling stock, which include 3 entirely new and SF freight cars and 3 existing TSW freight cars repainted in Santa Fe liveries. As shared previously, the pack will deliver an authentic operating experience. Timetable services will include player drivable services featuring mainline, intermodal, and freight trains, switching, and locals. The services are closely based on actual Santa Fe freight schedules and horsepower assignments of the era. Additionally, Union Pacific freight movements across Kajan Pass will be represented in an extra layer using up equipment from the Sherman Hill Route DLC. The pack will also include a selection of scenarios, which are now being tested ahead of launch. We look forward to sharing more soon from the High Iron Simulation team. East Coast Mainline Diesel Railtor Pack from Athena Simulations. We've checked in with the Athena Simulation team this month to see more progress for the upcoming ECML Diesel Railtors Pack. For a refresher, you'll be able to pick up 3 iconic locomotives, the BR Class 40 Whistler, Class 45 Peak, and a new Class 47. 47,484 Isambard Kingdom Brewing, alongside new MK1 coaches with BG, SO, ESO, and FK variants for the East Coast mainline route. The pack will feature 10 scenarios, with new features such as depot movements and opportunities for special rail tours, along with layering across many existing TSW5 routes and including timetables across TSW5 as a whole. Athena, Diesel Railtors was conceived as a spiritual sequel to the highly successful diesel legends of the Great Western for TSW, bringing classic traction to the East Coast Main Line. Yet, the East Coast Main Line is far from the end of the line, with all three locomotives being fully available to drive across a wide range of UK-based routes in TSW5. The team went to great lengths to ensure that the Class 47, Class 45, and Class 40 operate within the timetable of many routes, including all the era-specific routes and even heritage routes in TSW5 and the popular 1980s base routes from GIST trains, West Coast Main Line, present Carlisle and Blackpool branches, present Blackpool and Ormskirk routes. Athena, 47,484 Isambard Kingdom Brunel is arguably one of the most popular and iconic diesel locomotives in the history of British railways, and the team has spent long months recreating her in detail in the famed Great Western Railway green livery that the locomotive carried in recognition of the centenary of the GWR. Wearing this livery, 47,484 was used as the premier prestige diesel locomotive, being allocated the duty of hauling the royal train, along with numerous railtours and special event services across the entire UK network. Additionally, special release versions of the Class 45 and Class 40 locomotives are also fully included in the pack. These locomotives also became icons of the railway network, albeit in less glamorous duties, hauling freight and express passenger services around the UK. Included in the pack are the BG, SO, ESO, and FK variants, and the team were careful to choose versions of the MK1 coaching stock that were dual air and vacuum braked, offering maximum versatility when used in your own scenarios with a locomotive of your choice. Thank you, Athena Simulations. Stay tuned for further updates as we move closer to the release of the ECML Diesel Railtor Pack. Cargo Line, Volume 3 Intermodal Pack from Skyhook Games. We also wanted to check in for a short update from Skyhook Games for the upcoming Cargo Line Volume 3 pack, which is continuing to progress well this month. Skyhook Games, included in the upcoming Cargo Line Volume 3 Intermodal Pack, will be a Class 66 diesel locomotive in DB red and gray, as well as a brand new FCA intermodal spine wagon and an EWS maroon livery, consisting of a main spine with multiple container locking points between two wheeled bogies. Conventional draw gear and buffers are located at one end, with a permanent connecting bar at the other for linking with a twin. These wagons feature dynamic container load so that no two trains are the same. With the pack, you'll be able to get gameplay for both WCML, London Euston to Milton Keynes, and ECML, Peterborough to Doncaster routes, including journey mode in 3 scenarios on both routes, and timetable services. Of course, their teams are also working hard on the announced Cargo Line Volume 4 pack, and more which we're excited to announce at a future point. Did you catch our teaser in last month's January roadmap? Patches and updates. Train Sim World, previous patches and upcoming updates. 1. February 10th, core optimizations to help reduce crashes. Felsish Ludwigsbahn post-release improvements and fixes for WCML Preston Carlisle, Frankfurt Fulda, and more. 2. February 17th, additional optimizations to support Felsish Ludwigsbahn and updates to TSW5 core routes and US add-ons, including Antelope Valley, MBTA Commuter, and New York Trenton. 3. February 27th, various improvements to recent TSW released add-ons, with additional fixes for Felsish Ludwigsbahn, London Overground Suffragette line, and the recently released Metrolink F59 PHR locomotive. Looking to our future patches, we're aiming to keep up with sharing new updates as often as we can, and our teams are continuing to work on improvements that can help support core optimizations, cut the volume of crashes that are occurring, and we're doing our best to reduce the impact of memory limitations, which can also cause lower texture resolutions appearing for players on console platforms. We appreciate your patience, and we will continue working hard to deliver patches as often as we are able. Mittenwaldbahn post-release improvements. On the topic of future updates, We wanted to talk about post-release improvements the TSG team have been working on following the release of Mitten Waldbahn. We've loved seeing your screenshots and feedback from the launch, and we look forward to keeping the experience as best as possible. Here's a list of what you can expect coming soon. 1. Track visual should no longer become almost black in snowy conditions. 2. OMUP BB 1020 audio level adjustments, overall about 60% louder. 3. Cows will no longer wander on the track and react to horns correctly. 4. Adjusted track ballast snow color to be the same as the landscape snow. 5. Adjusted LODs on Silberling wagons. 6. Fixed OMLOT BB 1020 chassis textures to now have correct occlusion textures. 7. Fixed behavior of inducing magnets in Innsbruck on distant signals. 8. Remove mouse click sound that was in the RMMS freight wagon recordings. 9. Various signal fixes around the route. Alongside these updates, the team are looking how we can improve the visibility of the mountains loading in the distance on the Xbox Series X platform as a general core improvement working with the TSG team, which will benefit Mitten Waldbahn, and potentially have improvements we can implement for other mountainous routes. As a note, this change will likely not come alongside the changes listed above and will be a core change the team aimed to address at a future point. As a note, our teams had intention to release these fixes in an earlier window following the launch of Mitten Waldbahn, but on this occasion they aren't something we have been able to share at this point. We'll keep you informed when you can expect this update, and we thank you for your patience. Community Corner. Train Sim World 5 Boxed Edition, releasing in March for the USA and Australia. For those of you in Australia and the USA, if you're looking to get your hands on the boxed editions of Train Sim World 5 for PS5 platforms, then you're in luck as these will be releasing throughout March for you to pick up. See below for timings and package contents. 1. Australia, releasing on 6th March 2025, including TSW5 Standard Edit and London Overground Suffragette line. 2. USA, releasing on 13th March 2025, including TSW5 Standard Edit and MBTA Commuter, Boston Worcester. See our Train Sim World 5 Boxed Edition FAQs for more information. PC Editor Tutorial Series, Creating a Basic Scenario with Rob Powell. Following our discussions in previous months rolling up articles about short and easily digestible PC editor tutorials, we'd love to direct you to a fantastic series by a familiar member of the Dovetail team, Rob Powell, who has created a 15-part series walking through the basics of creating your own scenario within the editor. Rob touches on various different elements, from introducing the PC editor to folder structures, plugins, blueprint creation, and even setting up your own timetables and playing them within the PC editor itself. As usual, we'd love to also celebrate the community input to the PC editor scene. So if you're interested in getting involved or already a keen user of the PC editor tool, then be sure to look over the player-made resources on our PC editor forums. March Mastery Challenges and new Com Mastery posters coming soon. Another month brings another set of challenges to test you for the reward of a new March decal badge on your account. Whilst we're on the theme of sprinting through the spring season, you'll be challenged with keeping a very close eye on your speed with these tasks. New Com charity posters. At Dovetail Games, we are committed to supporting better mental health. So, we've partnered with the brilliant mental health charity Com, a suicide prevention charity on a mission to help people in their misery, not their lives. So, we're delighted to announce that, as part of the upcoming Cardiff route, we've been able to implement some real-life posters from their recent state campaign to aim to remove the stigma associated with talking about suicide. You can find out more about the great work that they do here at HTTP URL, as well as explore a whole host of resources designed to support yourself and those in your life with better mental health. Thank you. We had a blast, a game blast. Whilst we're on the subject of charity, we wanted to give a big shout out to our executive producer Matt Peddleson, who, with your help, raised a whopping £2,800 to support our other charity partner, Special Effect, after completing another marathon live stream over Game Blast weekend. They are a fantastic organization who put fun and inclusion back into the lives of physically disabled people by helping them to play video games. You can find out more about them, the great work they do, and examples of how your generous donations have helped some very deserving people. Right here, HTTP URL. Train Sim World, Route and Loco add-on manuals. Have you been a fan of tucking into a good route manual? Or are you looking for a wealth of information to discover across many of Train Sim World's add-ons? Well, you're at the right place. Head over to our Train Sim World Manuals article, which has recently been updated to be more convenient and visual. That includes all our shared route/loco manuals in one place. In each manual, you'll find information on the controls, individual locomotive operation, signaling guidance, and so much more. Roadmap live stream. Due to staff illness, we're not able to host the Roadmap stream tonight. However, we are looking at another point this week where we can talk with you about all the things we featured above and answering your submitted questions. We'll keep you updated once we've got more news to share. Thank you, folks. Join us in the community. Well, I hope you're ready and excited for the weeks coming up. The Springtime Sprint event has only just gotten started, and we can't wait to enjoy every bit of it with you all in the community. Make sure you're joining our teams on our Dovetail Live forums and Transcend community-led Discord that we are active in, and let us know what you're looking forward to most.